If you watched the last episode, you saw that I broke down or tried to make it make sense for you guys. It makes sense in my head, and for one, this is just perspective. But I'm gonna give you some examples here. Mind you, I'm gonna block the numbers, but I'll use this for example. This one right here says Authentic Bulls Zara. Got it from a guy, Authentic Bulls, right? And so here's the application form, not for Zara to be clear, but if you have an Ego and Maya pup, Ego's my first dog. But he's not my first dog, but he's my first dog. The people who sold me Maya, they didn't put anything here. So this right here, if I put FBK right here, mind you, I have to give you application form. If I put FBK right here, you can't do anything about it. Matter of fact, I can call and say, if I see the pup, like, yo, I want to show you the registry on, you know, this litter, see what the paperwork says. Somebody put down Zubutru, whoever, and turn around, and it don't say FBK somewhere. It's like, okay, they scratched my stuff out. I can make a complaint and get your paperwork pulled. It's not impossible to do. Most times, if you do this right, people are like, yo, yeah, this is an FBK dog. This is a thing. And I'm not saying for me, I'm just saying in general. When people get a bossy dog, they want you to know it's a bossy dog. Literally, most people put bossy. they put bossy in they header or they name on Instagram. They want you to know they spent the bag to get a bossy dog, and they're like proud to be a part of the bossy family. And shout out to what she's done out there. So in this case, when I say, hey, your first dog's not your first dog, Zara, just real-time perspective. This is the American Bully Kennel Club official registration certificate, Authentic Bulls Zara. Okay. I turn around, and on this paperwork, I'm gonna cover the two numbers, but you can see that says FBK Ego and FBK Maya. Can you see that? Okay. FBK Ego and FBK Zara are Maya, my bad. Now, all those pups, the FBK dogs, they are, but they're still generation 1 of 1. What does that mean? Ego was my first dog after 4 years of work. Maya is not my dog, even though I was able to register as my dog per se, FBK dog. Nala is our first full production, but even still, her daughter is the first FBK dog. Why? Because Ego is for my dog, first FBK production that I kept and utilized, and Nala is the second dog technically that we produced, and now she has full FBK. So when you double down on Nala, who we've watched for 2 years, and we've watched grow, and you use Ego, those are FBK dogs. So that litter technically is generation 1 of where we're trying to head. And even with Amira down here, generation 2 of her pups. So we'll probably have to keep some type of girl out of her litter. Yeah. But it could be when I take her to Frank. So I'm keeping a boy from Amir's litter, for instance, and I'm going to outcross and use Frank on Amir the second time. So the second time you use a girl, you keep a girl, because that, for one, they're gonna be some decent looking bullies and decent. They just have some stuff that I'm looking for to add some freak and keep the freak in there per se a little bit. But point is those two dogs, boy, Ego goes to Amira, Frank goes to Amira. I keep a boy, registered FBK. I keep a girl, registered FBK. What happens when you take either half siblings or you take that boy back to a auntie, aka I can take Ego's sister or Ego's son to Amira, back to a dog named Kara, who is the grandmother and mother of Ego, and the grandmother technically of those pups. But it's been diluted because there's been nothing else from Zara coming down the pipeline. And I'll try to make that make more sense, people, but we're not going to go there. I wanted to put in perspective that your first generation is not your second generation. Paperwork, I mean, it literally is an identifiable thing where it shows you, hey, what you have, what you don't have, what you're getting. Let me see, make sure nobody, I mean, look, this is your American Bully certificate, right? Pedigree. All the dogs that are back there, people. And it says Authentic Bulls on Zara's paperwork. So she's not an FBK dog. I made her FBK because of how I think and what we was able to achieve. But Ego, that's FBK, and he's still not generation 1. Generation 1 is a daughter from him, a daughter that we can utilize and build from. that's the part that some people will miss too. If I really like this boy, then I need a girl from that boy. And mind you, I had to get his mom. Then I bred his mom to someone else. I kept her son. Now her son, he's going to produce a girl, or produce hopefully another litter. And I keep the girl from there, because that girl technically could be the start of me doubling down on everything I like about his mother, him, and some other things. And because Ego technically is the first dog, he becomes grandpa. And you can take a dog back to grandpa. Challenge is, he is a little Easty Westy, so I'll never double down on Ego's looks, to be clear. Which is why I want to see if I keep a boy from this next litter, how it turns out. But even more importantly, for a fact, Frank the Tank has some pretty good feet. Amir is super tight feet. And good structure, or whatever. So the girl from that litter could be the generation we start with in tightening this whole thing up to get the dog that we're looking for, people. And Nala's 19 inches. And we've got Lola downstairs, who's very promising as well. So we've got some moves we can make. And I'm always playing chess, because it's not about rushing the process. It's about knowing what the process entails and executing effectively. And my job is to make sure I don't miss. So stay tuned. Take care of your dogs, people. Remember, your first dog's not your first dog. It is normally the third dog that becomes your first dog.